Hello there, fellow tarnished and rannis dear eternal consorts. Hope your adventures in Land Between is going great. By great, I mean you better be focusing on Rani's ending. Elden Ring is a very convoluted game. A lot of time, we don't get to understand why are we doing something. For example, if you were a normal player, you would have taken the very normal route toward the Stormveil castle and would have fought probably the second hardest boss of the first half of the game, Margit the Fell Omen. But who is Margit? Why is he fighting us? What's up with him being all ugly and horny? And with horny, I mean having horns. Hey, there are no dirty sentences, only a dirty mind. Most importantly, why does he hates us? Without further ado, let's just jump right into it. You encounter Margit when you approach the Stormveil castle, following the guidance of the Grace, where he welcomes you with this awesome dialogue.
Foul tarnished. In search of the Elden Ring. Emboldened by the flame of ambition. Someone must extinguish thy flame. Let it be Margit the Fell.
And after hours and hours of grueling combat, if you manage to beat him, you will hear this piece of dialogue.
I shall remember thee, tarnished, smoldering with thy meager flame. Cower in fear of the night. The hands of the fell Omen shall brook thee no quarter.
From just these two pieces of dialogue, we can infer that whoever Margit is, he is there to stop us from reaching our goal. He doesn't want us to be an Elden Lord. He is there for the same reason why Tree Sentinel is just outside the stranded graveyard. It is to eliminate any tarnished before they can actually become a threat. But whereas Tree Sentinel is an actual living being, Margit, well, Margit is something else. If you keep playing, you will find yourself coming face to someone called Morgoth the Omen King, who, interestingly, looks quite a lot like Margit the Fell Omen. And who is this Morgoth the Omen King? Well, we have to learn a little bit of family history here. We all know that Queen Marika is the goddess of the land between, and with her first consort, Elden Lord Godfrey, she had three children: Godwyn the Golden, Mog, Lord of Blood and Dodger of Accusations, and Morgoth the Omen King. But where Godwyn was everything Marika could have asked for, the other two boys were everything she despised and hated. Godwin was handsome, a great warrior, a diplomat, without any physical imperfection. He was the ideal poster child of the Golden Order of America. Morg and Morgoth, they were omens, beings born without the grace of the earth tree, and they had accursed blood and had horns growing from all over their body. Omens were seen as an impurity during the reign of Queen Marika, something that needed to be cleansed, purified, and for that reason, horns of the Omen child would be cut at the birth, which often proved to be fatal. But Mog and Morgoth were different. They were not just any Omen babies. They were children of Queen Marika herself, and for that reason, when they were born, instead of getting their horns cut, they were banished to the Shunning Grounds, a large underground area which sits directly underneath the royal capital of Leyendell. And this is where both Morg and Morgoth would spend most of their lives, away from the eyes of public, away from the eyes of Queen Marika, and away from the perfect world of the Golden Order. Needless to say, This would have a very deep psychological impact on the two young princes. Mog would turn to formless mother in an attempt to change the world, change the status quo, and make things a bit more fair, a bit more just. But Morgoth would seek validation in the status quo. He would work to preserve golden order in an attempt to be accepted by it. His cut horn symbolizes the length he was willing to go to do so. And in this very attempt to maintain the status quo, he would send his shadow, a clone named Margit, just outside the Stormveil castle, guarding it from the freshly arriving tarnished, who under the guidance of grace were coming in ever-increasing numbers. In gamer terms, we can say he was smurfing, and there he stood watchful, slaying countless invaders, protecting what he valued the most, an order established by his mother, an order imposed by his father, an order which had shunned him, an order which was repulsed by him, an order which defined his identity. But winds of change were blowing, and everything would soon change when a maidenless tarnished would arrive on the front door of Castle Stormveil.
Holy fuck.
Thank you guys for watching. If you liked what you heard, please like, share, and subscribe. I also stream on Twitch,
Alright.
twitch.tv/alwingray. And always remember,
think this is
your
it.
mother might not be the best.
I think
At
this is
least
it.
She was no Queen Marika.
Holy fuck, this is it for me. Easy. Easy.